Rams fans, welcome in on this edition of Rams Showcase. September is ending, but the Rams are already wide awake. Plus, the NFC West remains tight. Could we see some separation this week? And later, short week, but it's Niners week. We preview 49ers at Rams. Let's rock.
We here, man. We gotta take advantage of victory on one way. Let's go.
This is Rams Showcase with Sheriff Joe Baggs.
Yes, welcome to it, Rams Showcase. My name's Sheriff Joe Baggs. Shout out Loren for bringing me in there. Socials for the intro help down below. You can check him out. Also, if you would like to be part of one of those intros, do it, dude. Just hit me up. You can do ramshowcase@gmail.com. Any other Rams Showcase socials, or find me on social, Sheriff Joe Baggs. Help you out, figure out how to get you onto the Rams Showcase intro for this 25 Rams season, which is shaping up to be a pretty fun one. All right, I'm just saying, it's fun to be part of things like this. All right. We got a full game preview as a short week for Niners week this go-round. 49ers on Thursday Night Football, heading down to L.A. Fifth home TNF game for the Rams. I find that rather interesting and also rather awesome. You don't have to travel for a short week. Certainly beneficial there. We're going to take a snapshot of really just the month of September and kind of what we're looking at now as far as league-wide and where we're headed. And then, of course, so we'll talk about the NFC West and then full game preview featuring two NFC West teams, of course, the Rams and the 49ers. Before we get fully started here, some housekeeping for you. At Rams Showcase, at Sheriff Joe Baggs is where you follow along on socials, ramshowcase.com. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube as well if you have not already. We do appreciate it. It helps out a ton. And also live Monday, Wednesday, Friday in your life on the First and Tuna podcast YouTube channel, as well as the Rams Showcase Facebook page, part of the Tuna and the Sheriff show. It's absolutely awesome, absolute blast. So join us there. This week we'll actually be doing Wednesday morning as well as Thursday morning. We usually do our game previews on Fridays, but obviously we got the Thursday game, so we're going to bump that up. Give ourselves a mini bye as well as the Rams getting the mini bye before heading out to Baltimore. We'll get into that game, of course, next week, though. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. So September, it's ending. Rams are wide awake, dude. 3-1. We were sleeping last year at the end of September, but no need to wake us up now, dude. 3-1. Only loss being to the undefeated Philadelphia Eagles. Could be so much worse. Sitting at 3-1 right now, 1-3 in September last year, so already looking obviously much better. First time the Rams have been 3-1 to start a season since the 2021 season. There are a lot of parallels. We're trying not to get too caught up into that. The 25 Rams are very much individualized from those 21 Rams, so obviously kind of trying to separate that a little bit, but there's a little bit of those hints in there where you're like, dang it, man, this might be so sick. That's the problem. You know what I mean? So we got that going for us, but more trends as far as the similarities as the year goes on, for sure. Hopefully, at least, as the year goes on. Rams still looking to make some ground here in the NFC West, but plenty of time to do that, to let that race kind of shake out, as this is the first division game the Rams are playing this Thursday. Every other team in the division has already played at least one division game. Some have played multiples, so first one for the Rams this Thursday night, of course. The best team in the NFL, feels like we can just say it's Philadelphia, but it does feel like the Rams, if the Rams were in a situation to be able to play the Philadelphia Eagles again in a postseason setting, I at least feel good about it. I at least feel good about it in the sense that the Rams would put up a fight. Because, I mean, the way that first half went, I mean, I think that's the Rams at their peak, is being able to beat up on anybody in the NFL. And then obviously that game just, the Eagles were obviously able to come back and kind of shift things around a little bit. But I love the way that the Rams came out against the Indianapolis Colts. So obviously you got to like that. But it does kind of, I would feel comfortable saying that Philly, you can call them the best team in the league right now. But being the best team in the NFL in September doesn't win you anything. So there is that part. You got to be the best when it matters the most. We'll see how their season kind of shakes out. Obviously everybody's going after the Philadelphia Eagles, obviously Super Bowl winners, and now one of two remaining undefeated teams in the NFL. The other team is the Bills, who are 4-0. Only one win over a notable opponent is what I would call it. Not trying to trash anybody out here, but the Ravens are the only real team that it feels like the Bills have beaten. But also the Bills are getting smoked out here by good teams. So maybe Baltimore, the Rams' next opponent after San Fran, is maybe not as good as we maybe thought they were. I said maybe too many times there. That tells you my unconfidence. That's probably a word of where they're sitting at. So I'm kind of curious to see how that goes. The Rams and Ravens have had quite the history, but of course, again, we'll get into that game next week. But those other games for the Bills outside of the Ravens, Jets, Titans, Saints, notably 3 of the worst teams in the NFL. So I'm not sure if we're taking the 4-0 Bills serious yet. But again, it is only September. Plenty of time to turn it around. But if the season did end today, by the way, Rams would be sitting as a wild card team and would be playing in Detroit in the postseason. That's if the season were to end today. Obviously, the season doesn't end for quite a while. Plenty of football games to get done. I wanted to mention this, though, we're only 4 weeks in. You know what I mean? We're heading into week 5, but I've already seen some things that I think I'm at least surprised by. So I wanted to kind of list out here the teams that I thought would be better. I'm going to start with Washington. I think that one's reasonable. I think most people thought that they were going to be a better football team. In fairness, they are also very beat up, and Jaden Daniels, Scary Terry, all those guys are dealing with some stuff. So I think that's kind of it right there. They're also a very old team that could come into haunt you. I mean, it also could help. Obviously, you want that experience and stuff in there, but it could certainly come back to haunt you as far as health goes. So next up, I'm going to go with Carolina Panthers. I thought that they would be much better than they currently are. I just think that they have better players than how they're playing. The Atlanta Falcons, certainly another team that I would put onto that list. Again, I kind of like their coaching staff. I don't love their coaching staff, but I kind of like their coaching staff, and I think they have a solid roster. The New England Patriots, who have kind of turned it around as of late, but I did think that they would come in a little bit stronger. The Baltimore Ravens, just a powerhouse of a team, but are they good? I don't know. Houston Texans, after that, another team that I just felt like was going to come in a lot stronger this year. The Tennessee Titans, rookie quarterback, so fair. I'll give you that one, but I did think that they would come in stronger this year. And then the Denver Broncos, who I do think are in a situation where they'll be able to kind of click it on, but not playing as well as I maybe thought that they would. Some teams that I thought would be worse than they currently are. First up, Indianapolis Colts. Obviously 3-1 team. The Rams just gave them their first loss last week, but playing good football. No, nothing too bad to say about them. Detroit Lions. I thought that they would be worse. I thought that they would take a little bit more of a step back. They are playing very good football. I still don't think they're a Super Bowl team, but certainly in the conversation for a playoff team, absolutely. Minnesota Vikings. They are 2-2, but I'll be honest, I thought they were going to be worse. I thought they were going to be worse than they have been. Carson Wentz coming out in that game, I think was a major difference there. And another team I thought was going to be worse, the San Francisco 49ers, which in fairness, I think that will happen. I think it'll catch up to them, but we'll see. But being 3-1 this early, I'm not totally sure. And all of these are subject to change. That's all of the teams that I've got for you right now. Those are all subject to change week by week. You never know. So there's that part. I can change my mind. Do it a lot, actually. So the Rams and the rest of the NFL kind of turning their attention to October now, though, as obviously first month is in the books. You want to come out of that as good as you can, as healthy as you can. This is where you kind of start to get your footing. Now heading into October, this is when you need to really start clicking real well as a team. Obviously, November more so, December more so, January, obviously you got to be on it, but this is where that turn starts to kind of happen a little bit. So attention's turning, 3-1 for the Rams, and only 3 October games. Hopefully we come out and just sit at 6-1, heading into our bye week. Plenty to get into, though, as, of course, the season goes on. Let's head into the standings real quick for you. Obviously, the playoff picture, we're not necessarily there yet, only heading into the first week of October here. But the Rams still sitting in third place of the NFC West, even with a 3-1 record. San Francisco currently in first, some division wins in there. That's why they are ahead of the Rams right now. They did lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars, 21-26 this last week. Of course, this week at the Rams on TNF. Last week, the Seattle Seahawks in second place. They defeated the Arizona Cardinals 23-20. That was on Thursday Night Football. So back-to-back TNF games featuring only NFC West teams. Gotta love it. This week, Seattle hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Rams defeated the Colts 27-20 on a sweet 88-yard touchdown pass to Tutu Atwell, the Tutu train. And coming out on top of that one, Cam Curl getting his first 2 picks as a Ram. This week, of course, hosting the Niners, TNF. We'll get into that game preview here shortly. And the Arizona Cardinals sitting in last place right now of the NFC West with a 2-2 record. They lost last week, of course, to Seattle, 20-23, TNF. And this week, hosting the Tennessee Titans, who have not won a game this year so far. And Ward, man, Cam Ward out here saying, quote unquote, we ass. Big fan of that. That's absolutely awesome, dude. Social or like self-awareness, I think, is huge in the NFL. And Cam Ward, I'm becoming a bigger fan every week, I think. Same with Scatabo. That guy's crazy awesome, man. And it is so crazy to see that, like, he was so dirty in a game on turf. I truly don't know what happened. It's so funny to me. It's so funny. We have a full game preview. The San Francisco 49ers visiting the LA Rams. We'll get into that right after this break. It's Ram Showcase. Welcome back, Ram Showcase. Sheriff Joe Baggs here. The LA Rams sitting at 3-1, hosting on Thursday Night Football the San Francisco 49ers, who are currently also 3-1. This game kicks off from SoFi Stadium, 5:15 p.m. local time on Prime Video. If you're not going to be at the stadium, Al Michaels, Kirk Herbstreit, Kaylee Hartung on the call. For you bettors out there, the Rams are -5.5, -150 on the money line, 46.5 for your over-under. So Vegas and the sports books liking the Rams in this matchup. Gotta love that, man. Obviously, no distribution map for you this week, as we're prime time. All right, all eyes on us, man. That's the way it's supposed to be for sure. But the Rams will be wearing their royal jerseys for this, which brings us to Pants Picks, the game that is sweeping the nation. Myself and Peo time going with Soul, Tuna, and Rams House going with Royal. I do want to throw it out there as my own disclaimer that I did initially pick Bone, and I switched my call, so I will accept the loss, but if it is Bone at least. But I don't know. There's something about it, man. It feels like the Rams are going a lot of Royal on Soul right now. So I'm just sticking with the trends, dude. We got Bone again next week, though, at the Baltimore Ravens. See what happens. I'm just going to go Soul, okay? I'll tell you right now. That's what I'm doing. But those are your Pants Picks. Rams, though, in the Royal jerseys for this game. History of this matchup. This is the 153rd all-time meeting between these two. The 49ers do lead the all-time series 78-71. And 3. The last game between these two teams came on December 12th of 2024, just last year. There was a 12-6 win for the Rams in San Francisco. The first ever game between these two came on October 1st, which is actually the anniversary will be tomorrow. So you might be seeing this on the anniversary of that game. 75 years of this rivalry. Absolutely awesome. The Rams won that first matchup 35-14. The Rams have won the last 3 against the San Francisco 49ers, and the Rams and 49ers have met twice ever in the playoffs. Both those NFC Championship games. First one, January 14th, 1990. The Niners won that one 30-3. And then, of course, the most recent one, January 30th, 2022, where the Rams won 20-17 to go on to the Super Bowl and win over the Cincinnati Bengals at SoFi Stadium. Storybook stuff there, dude. Storybook. Absolutely incredible. There are 3 calendar years since 1950 that the Rams and 49ers have only played once. Can you guess any of them? Do you have any on the top of your head right now? All right, 2015, 2009, and then 1982. Those are the only 3 years since 1950 that the Rams and the 49ers only played one time in a calendar year. And in fairness, those all came like it was like January 2nd was the second game. So they're very tied in there. And then, of course, each of those years, the following year, there was 3 matchups. So I'm just saying it's a possible trivia question this week, okay? So do your homework, take your notes, all right? This will be on the test, okay? Is what I'm trying to tell you. As we kind of look at this game, though, the 49ers coming off of their first loss of the season. That was last week at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Obviously, there is a little bit of history there with Gladstone as the new GM, former Rams scout, and then Liam Cohen as the head coach, former Rams offensive coordinator before LaFleur took over. So there's definitely some knowledge there. I'm not sure how much that necessarily played into this matchup, but a little bit of history there, at least from the brains on the sideline and in the boots up there. They did defeat the Seahawks, the Saints, and the Cardinals before that, so a few division dubs already for the 49ers. And then only an AFC loss. That is why they are ahead of the Rams, like I said earlier. The Rams, they're coming in after after a home win against the Indianapolis Colts after a 1-1 road trip obviously winning in Tennessee and then losing in Philadelphia. So back at home again for another home game. This is going to be the third home game of the season before we're not home for a little bit. Of course, in Baltimore, in London bye week, and then home against the Saints. So this, if you're going to be in town, definitely take advantage. Rams won't be taking the SoFi turf for a little bit, so definitely worth getting your booty into the seats for this go-round. Obviously, major game in the NFC West, even early in the season. The Rams have had a few big games already, even early in the season. This is the Rams' first divisional game of the year. The 49ers' third, though. They are already 2-0 in the division. Can't let them go 3-0 on you, especially as you're trying to kind of separate yourself already. You know, you want to be able to take these early games and kind of just get ahead so that in December you can maybe take a game where, you know, Jimmy Garoppolo's starting and Jarquez Hunter running back and stuff like that. And you're playing Mump as your number one and stuff like that. Not that these guys are bad players by any means, but keeping your top talent out for the playoffs, I mean, it's something that the Rams clearly like to do if we have the opportunity. So winning games like this now can allow you to do that in December time, which obviously absolutely huge. This is the Rams' second NFC game of the year, 49ers' fourth NFC game of the year. They've only had the one AFC game, which they did lose. This is another matchup in a rivalry that has crazy history, and that is, I think, the coolest part about this kind of matchup is, like I said, 153rd all-time meeting is this one right now. 49ers do lead, but the Rams have done well in recent years, so hopefully we can kind of keep that trend going. I want to talk about some Thursday Night Football stats because I found this kind of interesting. The Rams are 15-11 on Thursday Night Football all time. The Rams have not lost on TNF since Week 1 of 2022. That was against the Bills Week 1. So that was the big opener. That was 31-10, I believe it was, against the Buffalo Bills at home. What can you do? That was kind of just not a fun year entirely. So it happens, man. Rams have won 5 of their last 6 Thursday Night Football games as well. Sean McVay is 7-2 on Thursday night as the Rams head coach. Sean McVay's first TNF game as the Rams head coach was against the San Francisco 49ers. That happened in 2017, 41-39. What a crazy game that was for the Rams over San Fran. This is going to be the 5th straight home game for the Rams on TNF, which I absolutely love. Love that trend. Hopefully that continues for so long. I already hate Thursday night games. I already think that they're a whole bag of mummers. But if you're going to be in a situation where you're at least at home, that does kind of help it, I think, a little bit, because then you don't have to, like, get home on a Monday and then head out again on, a Wednesday, because you got to be in the away city 24 hours out at least. So, yeah, it's just a quick, truncated week. And I'm not a fan, but either way, at least we can be at home for it, so I'll take that for sure. Before moving to St. Louis, so from 1937 until 1995, the Rams had only appeared in 8 total Thursday Night Football games. That is 58 years worth of Thursday Night Football games. And then in the last 30 years, so almost half the time, the Rams have played in 18 Thursday Night Football games. I think it was 2005, maybe it was a little bit later than that, maybe. That every team started doing, maybe it was way later than that, actually, that every team, maybe it was 15, started doing where every team got a Thursday night game, and that's just a regular part of the rotation now. Again, I'm not a big fan of it. That also doesn't matter whether I like it or not. They're going to keep doing it. They're not going to listen to my podcast and be like, maybe we should give Thursdays back to the people. I don't know. I don't know what that means, really. But it makes for a short, crazy week when you got to try to do all this. But it's fun still. Either way. Let's look at some milestones here. Matthew Stafford passing Kurt Warner for touchdown passes in Rams history. 103 total. Warner had 102 as the Rams quarterback. Needs 4 touchdown passes to tie Jared Goff in Rams history. Goff has 107 passing touchdowns, in Rams history. 61 games for Stafford, 69 for Jared Goff. So Stafford realistically doing it in less games than Jared Goff. Stafford is currently on pace for 4,735 passing yards. That would be third most in a single season in Rams history, behind himself and Kurt Warner. He is currently on his current pace. He would end the season with the 4th most passing yards in Rams history total. That's overall, passing Norm Van Brocklin as well as Jared Goff. The 47-35 would be 42nd best in NFL history for a single season. And it's actually kind of cool. I don't think I noticed that Stafford is a 5K guy. I think that was 2010 that he threw for 5,000. I mean, certainly possible. I mean, he's on pace for 47-35 right now, so definitely not in that world yet, especially considering there's an extra game now as well. But, I mean, obviously anything can happen, man. At 375 last week, if you can put a couple more of those together, you're going to be looking good as far as your averages and all that stuff goes. And next up here, and it was what we're going to end on as far as the milestones go, we're going to go with Puka Nacua because I don't know if you guys have heard, he's a pretty good football player, all right? He's out here killing it, all right? He has reached double-digit receiving touchdowns, officially, number 10 in his career, that game-tying score that he had against the Colts, tying Billy Waddy, Ernie Conwell, Eddie Kennison, Brian Quick, Van Jefferson, Drew Hill, Wendell, Tyler, and Roland Williams all had 10 receiving touchdowns in their Rams careers. He is tied for the most receptions in the first 4 games of a season with 22 Kupp and 18 Michael Thomas with 43 receptions, which means he's on pace for about 1 billion. It's absolutely crazy. He's currently 175th most receiving yards in a single season in Rams history, and it's only been 4 weeks. He is currently on pace for 179 receptions on the season. That would beat the Rams record by 33 and beat the NFL record by just 29. As I don't know if you remember that Cooper Kupp 21 season was very close to breaking that single season record. He's currently on pace also for 2,138 receiving yards this season, which is absolutely crazy. Would be a Rams record, of course, because it would also be an NFL record. No wide receiver has ever had a 2K receiving yards year. Of the top 25 seasons, too, or the top 25 single-season receiving yard seasons. Does that make sense? Try not to get too into the weeds on these. But of the top 25 on that single-season list, 4 of those are Rams, including number 2 overall, the superhero 2021 Cooper Kupp. And that also does include the 1995 year where Jerry Rice got into 4th all-time for a single season, and Isaac Bruce coming in not far behind him with 8th overall, which is absolutely incredible, especially being in the same season. I just think that that's super, super cool. As far as our connections go here, former Rams who are on the 49ers, I didn't see any other names that I had recognized, and I'll be honest, that's how I do that. I just go through the roster and look for names I recognize. I feel like I've covered this team long enough now where I would recognize, even if they were like a quick practice squad stop or something, because I talk about them to you every single week, so I should know them. But either way, the only name that popped out to me, Demarcus Robinson, wide receiver, D-Rob, who obviously spent a couple years with the Rams, had some incredible moments as a member of the Rams. We love and respect D-Rob, but he's the enemy now. And he's a 49er, so he's also dead to us. So once he retires, we're on the D-Rob train again. Until then, who? That's kidding. There's some notable coaches that are sitting on the San Francisco sideline. Robert Saleh making his return, obviously, to coach the defense. Gus Bradley, really good coach, really long-time coach. I just thought his title was really interesting. Assistant head coach of defense. Very specifically. Thought that was an interesting title. KJ Wright, he is a defensive quality control, former linebacker. We got to see him play against our Rams, of course, plenty of times. And then the big battle, the one that we all know about, Sean McVay going against Kyle Shanahan. That storyline goes back forever. Those two are like best friends, and I love the story about Shanahan getting told by somebody. It's like, dude, don't worry about it. Take tonight. Reach out tomorrow. Matthew Stafford will still be available. And it was pretty much that, like, right there that the deal was being closed by McVay and Stafford and Cabo, which I think is one of the coolest stories ever. You can't sleep on it, dude. Way to go, Kyle. You blew it. You blew it, Kyle. How many times has somebody said that to Kyle Shanahan, by the way? You blew it. It's kind of what he does, man. It's kind of what he does. I don't want to bring up Super Bowls and NFC championships and stuff like that, but comebacks are kind of a thing that happened to Kyle Shanahan. And maybe they were in the lead for Matthew Stafford. And then Sean McVay slipping in there, pulling a quick one, dude. Heck yeah. Take a look at the matchup of this one. We'll start with the Rams offense going against that 49ers defense. Really solid matchup here. The 4th overall ranked offense for the Rams put up barely under 400 yards a game, but the Niners defense, 3rd in the NFL, giving up 288. Passing the football, top 3 unit for the Rams, 267.5 for the Rams through the air, courtesy of Matthew Stafford. And going against the 6th ranked pass defense, giving up 165 for the Niners. Rushing the ball, Rams definitely looking pretty solid here. I would say an improvement over last year for sure. 120.8 a game. That's 13th in the NFL, going against 115.5 a game in the 49ers defense, which ranks 17th. So certainly a chance there. Average points being put up, Rams scored 25. That's 13th in the league. Niners giving up 18.8. That is 7th in the league. And third down conversions, Rams 13th here, scoring 40.4% of those guys, and then the Niners giving up 32%, which is actually second in the NFL, so big test there, absolutely. Some opposing players that we're going to keep our eyes on. We're going to start with Eli Apple here. Eli Apple making his way back to SoFi Stadium. One of the most iconic catches in Rams history will forever be Eli Apple getting turned into pie by Cooper Kupp, who ended his unreal 2021 campaign by helping the Rams take the lead in the Super Bowl over Eli Apple. That was, of course, his final catch of that incredible season. What a perfect way to send that one off. Over Eli Apple, though, that one, that's iconic. It remains forever. But he knows his field. He knows his team. As a guy who will have plenty of snaps, I'm sure. Apple is at least one guy to keep our eyes on. Renardo Green is ahead of Apple on the depth chart, but was limited in practice Monday. I have not checked the Tuesday injury reports. I don't know if they're out yet. I did check a little bit ago and they weren't out. I don't know if they are now. That's what I'm trying to say. But we'll see if Green plays. If not, then Apple's definitely going to get his fair share. But Green certainly ahead of him on the depth chart there. Next up, I'm going to go with Fred Warner. 22 solo tackles on the year. May not stand out, but Warner absolutely still one of the top linebackers in the NFL. He and Kyron certainly going to be meeting on a few occasions, running duo like the Rams do on the offensive line. Getting up to that second layer and getting Warner out of the run lane is going to be huge this week. And it does seem like the Rams are going to have their offensive line back in action, so that's good news. Steve Avila, it makes sense that the Rams would let him play this week, considering we do have then 10 days until our next game in Baltimore after this. So it's very possible that we can have our offensive line put together for this one for what would be the second time, but obviously in week one wasn't a whole lot of time, excuse me, that we had all those guys together. And then next up here, I'm going to go with Bryce Huff. He is tied for the lead in sacks on the team, but that's just 2. But with Nick Bosa, who will miss the rest of the season with that torn ACL, Huff, he's definitely going to be the top pass rusher. You know what I mean? So he's got 3 quarterback hits on the year and 2 forced fumbles as well. But like I said, with Bosa out, Huff is definitely the guy to pay attention to. So a lot more attention is going to go to that direction. So we'll see how that kind of shakes out. But Huff, he'll really need to show that he's one of the best pass rushers in the NFL if the 49ers are going to be a team that is actually going to be making an impact this year and into the playoffs. And if he's going to do it, it starts this week against a division opponent on the road. Is that going to happen? I'm not sure. Rams have a really good offensive line, especially when it comes to protecting Stafford. So I think that we're in a good spot heading into this one. Sans Bosa. Best one-on-one I have for this game is going to be Devontae Adams versus Diamador Lenore. What could be the least, probably the least star power-driven secondary that the Rams have faced so far. Adams really could be in for a big day. Lenore will likely get the bulk of the reps against Adams, but again, no disrespect intended here towards anybody, but this is probably the best matchup that Adams has had yet so far this season. Stingley in week 1, Snead in week 2, had the Eagles secondary with DeGene, all those guys in week 3, and then last week it was forgetting his name already. That's good news. But they have good corners too, man. So I do think that this is the best matchup so far for Devontae going against Diamador Lenore. But we also know that Puka is destroying souls. So who knows if this is going to be one of those games where the 49ers are putting their best guy on Puka, because Puka is the best wide receiver in the NFL. I don't know why everybody's giving so much attention. I mean, I know why they're giving attention to Devontae Adams, because he's incredible, but Puka's eating people up, dude. I mean, he's spitting bones out over here, and people are still like, don't let Devontae beat you. But you know what? Maybe they know more than I do. Maybe they know that if they give that attention to Puka, that Devontae is just going to have 250 yards, and then what? Then what? Then what? That's a real question. Then what? 3 to C for the Rams side here. We're going to start with Davante Adams for the reason I just mentioned. Adams is going to have a day where he's going to have a day where he has more targets, more receptions, more yards than Puka Nacua does in a game, and it's going to be dictated by the opponent. Like Sean McVay says, the opponent has a say. They can tell you a little bit about what you're going to do. You don't get to just control everything, all right? They get their say on the impact of the game as well. And who knows when that team is going to be that takes away Puka instead of Davante. And then Adams is going to just go off. But I think that this secondary, specifically with a weaker pass rush than we maybe anticipated into this game, I think Davante is absolutely in line to have a really big day in this game. Next up here, I'm going to go with Matthew Stafford, coming off of the most passing yards in a game as a Ram, the 375 last week. Stafford obviously bounced back big time in a game where he did miss a few targets in the previous week against Philly. It happens, no biggie. We still got a whole lot of football to play, but he also had 41 attempts last week, and now we're going into a short week. So the Rams could lean a little bit more run, which means that Stafford will need to just take advantage of the chances that he's got. I have all the trust in the world in Matthew Stafford to make smart decisions and get the football to where it needs to go. But with what I would guess is going to be more limited reps than 41 attempts than last week against Indy, I think that you just got to be on, man. Just take advantage of the reps when you got them, and I fully expect him to. And next up here, we're going to go with Tutu Atwell, the Tutu train. It is easy to put Puka here, for sure. And sure, it was one catch from Tutu Atwell. I don't want to get it overblown here. It was one catch. It was a friggin' sweet catch. and in such a big moment, which is kind of what you have Tutu for, you know what I mean? So it was a game winner, obviously. Tutu looked like he was jogging. It's crazy, dude. I can't imagine that he, going full speed for Tutu. He probably can't, dude. His shoes probably rip off of his feet. He probably has to jog because they don't design clothes like Dash Incredible in real life where these pants and these shoes can maintain the speed and the intensity that comes with the speed of Tutu Atwell, man. And I'm sorry to Emmanuel Forbes, but I think I'm on Tutu's side on this one, man. I love Emmanuel Forbes. I got nothing bad to say. But as far as this speed goes, dude, Tutu was jogging and blowing by everybody. He did not look like he was going full speed, man. So maybe one day we'll see the Tutu explosion the way that we are intended to. But again, I just don't think that the fabric can handle it, man. I don't know if science has caught up to the speed of Tutu Atwell. His shoes are going to explode. So Tutu Atwell, man, love to see it. And again, that's just what you want in a big moment. That's why you paid him. Les Snead talked about it on the Sean McVay show this week. That, he's like, the stuff that doesn't show up in PFF ratings and stuff like that is the stuff where he's so fast, he's pulling defenders away from other situations, creating other space for other guys. So yeah, Puka may get a 20-yard catch that was actually helped out by Tutu quite a bit. So that kind of stuff goes into play. Obviously, there's so many different factors, but Tutu Atwell, hopefully this is a time now for him to really get his rhythm going and start just really taking off. Love to see it. Overall, when it comes to the Rams offense going against the 49ers defense, the Rams offense feels like it's going to get further into rhythm as the season goes on. The Rams are slowly getting the tight end position a little bit more involved, as well as some more depth, such as that 2-2 play, like I said. Nick Bosa is a clear-cut big hit for this defense. Obviously, losing a guy like that this early in the season is obviously a big hit. But you know what? That's the name of the game. Injuries happen. Next man up. I mean, that's how I feel about our injuries as well. When somebody goes down, I don't love it. I hate to see it, but we still got games to play. We can't hold off because someone's hurt. So let's get somebody in there. It's just what we got to do, man. But the Rams should have the advantage here with the obvious wild card of this being a division opponent. So I do like the matchup a lot, but obviously when the history of Saleh and Shanahan going against LaFleur and McVay, obviously there's some history there. So there's a lot of different factors that go into it. Who knows what the game plan is going to be? This is also a short week, which means a little bit of a truncated game plan. You don't get to fully install something that you would necessarily want to do all the time. Like you can certainly add some wrinkles and stuff like that, but it is a little bit more stripped down as far as your game plan goes in a situation like this. Let's flip over to the other side here. We have the Rams defense going against the 49ers offense. 49ers offense is a top 5 unit, putting up 375.3 yards a game. The Rams top 10, giving up 311.3. Passing the football, 280 a game for the 49ers offense. That's second in the league. 186 given up it through the air for the Rams defense. That is tied for 9th best. Rushing the football, this is where the 49ers definitely taking a step back from previous years. 28th in the NFL, averaging just 88 yards a game. Rams are 10th in the league, giving up 98.5. Average points being put up a game. The Niners putting up 20. That ranks 23rd. And Rams giving up 20.3. That is tied for 10th. So 20 points makes sense for the Niners this week. Third down conversion rate, 48.1% for the Niners offense. That's third in the NFL. Rams giving up 34%. That is tied for 8th. So obviously here, what the main battle is going to look like is going to be that air attack. We don't know if it's going to be Mac Jones or Brock Purdy. It does seem like Purdy being back, but then he was limited on Monday. Obviously, with it being a short week, lots of wrenches being thrown into all kinds of machines over here. So we don't know who's going to play quarterback quite yet. I would anticipate that it's going to be Brock Purdy, but also I don't know if it's better or worse. Like, I don't know what it means that Mac Jones makes that offense run just as well as Brock Purdy. I don't know if that's a better sign for Mac Jones or a worse sign for Brock Purdy. You know what I mean? Like, if this guy can come in and just do exactly what you've been doing, I mean, I don't want to say system and all that stuff, but like, if anybody else, if some rando, I don't want to call Mac Jones just a total rando, but like, come on. Like some dude come in here and just run the offense just as good as you. I mean, that can't be a good sign. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want your backup to be better than you. And I think that we might be seeing that in San Francisco. But hey, Brock's the one getting paid. So. Opposing players we're going to want to keep our eyes on. We're going to start with Christian McCaffrey, a running back. Getting quite a bit of touches here for the 49ers, showing that he's still able to get it done and very difficult to tackle, of course. Rams run defense getting their third really big test in a row, but also Christian McCaffrey getting all these reps, man. I don't know what it is about San Fran. They've got no concept of load management at all. They want to give Christian McCaffrey all the touches in the world in September. That's awesome, but with his history, I imagine in December we won't see Christian McCaffrey running the football. And I'm not saying I hope he gets hurt, not saying anything like that, but when you're using a guy who's very blatantly had a hard time staying on football fields, sure, he's great. He's really good at football. He breaks a bunch of tackles and stuff, but you're going to run him into the ground. They're Steven Jacksoning Christian McCaffrey right now. So, I mean, it is what it is, I suppose. I mean, it's hard to be that mad about it as an opponent. You know what I mean? So, it happens. Wide receiver Demarcus Robinson going to be next up. First game back was last week, so this is his second game as a Niner. Robinson has been a really solid wide receiver. We all know that, of course. He may not go off in most games, but when he does, it is a problem. When he's on, he is on. He can score 2-3 touchdowns on you and put up, 115. But more realistically, he's a 3-catch, 24-yard kind of guy, depending on his offense. I do think it is very dependent on the offense that he is in. We haven't really gotten to see him be embedded into the 49ers offense yet, so we truly don't know what Demarcus Robinson brings to that San Fran pass attack. And next up here, we'll go with Trent Williams. Jared Verse has a lot more attention this season, but going against Trent Williams this week could mean that the 49ers might be a little bit more comfortable to let Williams go one-on-one with Jared Verse. And if he does, I don't think the chances that Verse could at least make Purdy's soul rise to the heavens on at least one occasion. You know what I mean? So you go and block him one-on-one. I understand Trent Williams is incredible, but and he's probably going to win some reps, dude, but you're not going to win them all against Jared Verse. That's just not possible, man. So I'm here for it. And I will say Trent Williams has been known to be a little talkative, and we know Jared Verse. So I'm just hoping it doesn't get out of hand or anything like that. But the chirping is going to be a thing between Verse and Williams, and I'm here for all of that, man. That's going to be absolutely so much fun to watch. I know after reps all the time, you're going to see Verse turning around, and you're going to see him talking, man. It's going to be fun, man. This is going to be a really fun game. It's already Niners week, and then you get little battles like that. Pinnacle, dude. Pinnacle. Love football. It's so nice. My best one-on-one for the Rams defense going against the Niners offense. I'm going to go to Nate Landman versus Christian McCaffrey. Landman has done wonders for the Rams run defense, dude, honestly. But tough test this week against a team that knows us better than the other teams we've played recently. So I mean, we've played against really good running backs. Obviously, Mixon was out week 1, but then Pollard, really good back. You've got Barkley, obviously, really good back. Jonathan Taylor, really good back. Christian McCaffrey, really good back. So the Rams are going against really, really good run attacks, especially just really good running backs specifically, but not giving up a bunch, which you love to see. Another tough battle here, obviously, but with the 49ers offense only putting up 88 rushing yards a game, I kind of like this. I kind of like this situation where the Rams may be able to kind of pin their ears back a little bit and get after Brock Purdy, but also know that a lot of their pass attack with Purdy to Christian McCaffrey and a lot of their other guys as well. I know like Kittle's on IR and stuff, but they do a lot of short passes, get the ball out of Purdy's hands and let your playmakers make plays, which I also think is a little bit of a sign of the skill set of Brock Purdy, but I'm also just not here to trash the dude. I mean, his story, obviously absolutely incredible. But I just don't think he's as talented as we're giving, you know what I mean? That's all I'll say there. But who am I? Who am I? But for Nate Landman, man, a punch out on CMC would be just a good watch, That'd just be a good watch. That'd just be fun for me. I'd give high fives for sure. Everybody I'm around is getting a high five if that happens. But yet another chance for Nate to show why he was brought in. And we'll see what happens with Nate Landman's contract situation. 28-year-old linebacker signed a 1-year deal. So obviously the situation that we're looking at now is he's going to need some money next year to stick around. But who knows, man? He loves being a Ram. That's obviously not the biggest indicator of what somebody will take. Von Miller liked being a Ram as well and went to Buffalo. They had more years on the contract. We had more average, but he had more years in Buffalo. Then they cut him before our contract would have ended, so whatever. But there's a lot of different factors that go into signing extensions. 3 to see here for the Rams defensive side. We're going to start with Braden Fisk, dude. Fisky business. Fisk was quiet weeks 1 through 3. He was a little bit banged up in there, so not getting a ton of reps. But week 4, man, we saw Fisk start to get into that pass rush rhythm here. So my guess is that this is the week that we see Fisk take down a quarterback. Brock Purdy, man, better watch out for 55 coming at him because, Fisk looking good, dude. Looking good. Looked really good last week. Definitely made some moves, especially like on guys like Quentin Nelson, where it was like, oh no, Fisk is back. He's doing fine. He's feeling all right, dude. And then a full participant in practice, at least on Monday, for sure. So Fisky business. Fisk it to biscuit, man. It's looking good. Got to Fisk it to get the biscuit. Cam Curl next up. Curl coming off his first 2 picks as a Ram, dude. Those are absolutely awesome. That is quintessential. He showed basically in textbook form what the Chris Shula defense is designed to do. You rush the passer, force him into a situation where he's maybe throwing a pass, maybe a little bit off rhythm, maybe a little deep, something like that. You sit back in the secondary, pick your shot, dude. Curl did it absolutely. He did it twice. Super good to see, man. To start the game and then to end the game. First drive, last drive. Cam Curl, man. Open and close the game out, Cam. Absolutely love to see it. Like to see that he's, getting into that rhythm now. Came in last year as a Ram, and I was obviously fired up about Cam Curl showing up. And then I think last year it was a lot of finding his rhythm into our team, and I think he's got it, man. He's looking good, man. But I'm curious to see if this is like the start of Curl getting like a wave of turnovers now, or if it's also going to leak into the rest of the secondary, and we're just going to be picking off everybody, dude. So that'd be fun. And next up here, I'll go with Byron Young. Young is benefiting from the line getting shifted to Verse's side for sure. He's taking full advantage of it, man. Obviously, when eyeballs are going to a guy like Jared Verse, the other guy's got to take advantage. And Byron Young now leads the NFL in sacks with 5. So absolutely love to see it. BY taking care of business. And it's going to be one of those things where teams are going to have to decide, where's the attention going, and then. We also got pass rushers in the middle too, so I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough to try to figure out who's blocking all these dudes for the Rams, but someone's got to figure it out, man. Or they don't. Whatever. But Young may get some more attention this week than the first 4, just with Trent Williams being on that other side. But obviously there will be a mix-up where Young will get to go against Williams as well. So this is a good week to just see how much better Young has gotten this season. So I'm fired up about it for sure, man. And overall, for the Rams defense going against the Niners offense, Rams really should be able to slow down this 49ers offense. The Rams pass rush should be able to impact Purdy a little bit more than the Jags were able to, and they certainly got into his face. Purdy was picked off twice. Rams defense had 2 picks last week, so obviously there's some positive trends for the Rams defense heading into this game, but most importantly, Thursday night games are awful for creating game plans, so both teams will be a little bit more stripped down than normal, which you love to see because this just means go after that passer, man. We have the tape. We know kind of what their trends are. Get Purdy. Get after them. It'll be good stuff, man. So what the Rams have that the 49ers don't is more continuity and better health right now. So I think that the Rams are sitting in a pretty good spot. And I say continuity just because of the injuries that the 49ers are dealing with. They've got wide receivers that are out. 2 wide receivers went out last week. I'm not sure about their availability this week. Obviously, Bosa going down. That's a defensive player and stuff like that. But, I mean, overall, man, the 49ers, I think, are a little bit of a what I would kind of consider, and I'm not just trying to be a 49ers hater here as a Rams fan, but they're in what I would consider a little bit of a faux 3-1 record situation. I don't think that they're going to sit at this level as the season goes on. I'm sure they'll kind of have stretches 3-4 weeks in a row, couple times maybe, where they are losing games. So this could be one of those where, I mean, they get knocked down to 3-2, something like that. But obviously, game's got to be played. It's a division opponent. Can't count a win before game even happens for sure, especially in this series, Rams and Niners. Obviously, that goes way back. So I think that ultimately, man, I'm excited for this one, as you should be. It's Niners week. I do believe I'll be talking with CG at some point this week. I'm not sure exactly how or when that's going to happen. We've talked about wanting to do it, but we haven't scheduled that yet. It's been a crazy week, dude. I hate Thursday Night Football. It's so packed in. I have not had time to do anything else except for get ready. So, but tomorrow, though, possible that we'll be doing that Wednesday evening. So check it out there. This game, again, kicks off Thursday Night Football Prime Video, unless you're going to be at SoFi Stadium, 5:15 local time. Be sure to check it out, man. We'll be live ahead of the game from my car. That's where we're going to start. We're not going to start from home because I'll just leave work and go to watch the game. So catch me there, Ram Showcase YouTube channel, Ram Showcase Facebook page. And I think I want to do a giveaway this week. Don't want to spoil nothing here, but hope you took your notes, dude, because I gave you the answer, all right? Gave it to you, dude. I gave you the answer. We got fan quesos. That is into your life right after this break. It's Ram Showcase. Welcome back in, Ram Showcase. My name's Sheriff Joe Baggs. We're going to go ahead and get into our fan quesos here. This first one here is going to come from Brett via the Facebook page. And let's see here. We're going to get set up a little bit. All right, so this one, yeah, like I said, coming from Brett, who said, who is, in Sheriff Joe's opinion, the biggest Rams legend of all time? I want to exclude Aaron Donald because I do feel like he's the easy answer. Criteria to be answered: tenure, accomplishments, and big moments. Those are so good, dude, and so difficult to nail down. I've thought about this question. He sent this one to me earlier this week. I think it was maybe Monday, so like yesterday. But like thinking back to this one, man, like obviously, yeah, you're right. Aaron Donald is the easiest answer there. Tenure, played only with the Rams, obviously. Accomplishments, had plenty of them. Big moments, we know them. You know what I mean? So yeah, obviously that's such a big one there. I know as far as defensive players go, I don't know how many I would put here. I know that there's really good defensive players that the Rams have had, obviously going back, way back and stuff like that. But my brain wants to go offense. And as far as the tenure of the Rams, that's where it gets hard too. Because tenure, accomplishments, and big moments, my brain keeps on going to Orlando Pace. And I realize that there's so many different names to put in any situation. Big moments. I mean, Torrey Holt has so many big moments. I would say Torrey Holt has more big moments than Isaac Bruce has, but Bruce was just more consistent overall. But as far as the tenure, accomplishments, big moments, Orlando Pace just keeps sticking out in my brain. And I would say, as far as the tenure goes, obviously drafted really early by the Rams. Did end his career. I think it was Chicago. But just was such that brick wall on the left side. You know what I mean? So he just did such a good job for such a long time. Orlando Pace on that left side. I mean, nothing bad to say there. Accomplishments, I don't have his numbers in front of me as far as Pro Bowls and all that stuff, but he's certainly, he's in the Hall of Fame, so obviously he's done a lot of things right. And then big moments, man. I mean, I just think about, Super Bowls, stuff like that. So I don't know, man. I wish I had like a little bit more, I guess, prepared for this in my head. Is like as far as being able to really go into why I'm saying Bruce or Pace. I mean, so I think that ultimately what I'm saying is I'm saying that Orlando Pace. If I can't go Aaron Donald, I am saying that Orlando Pace is the what is it the biggest Rams legend of all time. That's what the question is. And that's kind of, I feel good about that, man. And I know that there's other people to go with. There's Merlin Olsen, Deacon Jones. There's, James Laurinaitis, Isaac Bruce. There's Steven Jackson, Marshall Faulk, Eric Dickerson, like Elroy Hirsch. There's so many guys to talk about. But I think for me, and maybe it's my age too, being just 34, that I also wanted to pick somebody that I watched play. And Orlando Pace, man, it was like, okay, well, Pace has them, so everybody else, what are we doing over here? Like, that was always the thing. So I'm gonna stick with Orlando Pace there, man. But I also want to know your answers based on that information, tenure, accomplishments, and big moments. What say you about who is the biggest Rams legend of all time? That question coming from Brett, and I want to hear from you, man, because I want to know. I want to get into this next week too, and kind of see if there's other answers that we can throw in here and talk about them. And maybe we'll talk about this as well on some sort of live forum. I'm not sure if that would be a Tuna and the Sheriff conversation, but some kind of live forum where we can get some conversation going about it as well, because I really like that question, Brett. Next one here coming from Nick says, with the way Stafford has been playing, is it crazy to think he can play till 40 plus? Absolutely not. Says my prediction is the talk about the Rams' future at quarterback will shift from we need Stafford's predecessor to we need to extend Stafford long-term 2 to 3 years. I absolutely agree. I don't think he's in a situation where it's like, he doesn't look like, it's like, oh, dude, you better call it after this year, man. You're falling apart. But also, we're only going into October right now, so maybe we'll see in December if it's like, all right, dude, he's done. So I don't think so. I think Stafford does a really good job taking care of himself and stuff, so I wouldn't anticipate that would be the situation, but I also don't think that it's impossible we do see another 2-3 years out of Matthew Stafford, which again is also why I don't think it's that crazy to think that the Rams are not going to go for a replacement quarterback quite yet. They want to keep a guy maybe like a Garoppolo, a Stetson Bennett, who clearly knows the offense real well and stuff like that, on the bench while Stafford's hanging around. And then once he does decide to retire, it's like, okay, well, we better address this now. Or maybe it's one of those things where I'm sure McVay will kind of know, like he knew Donald was going into his last year. Even though it was never said, he was like, I kind of could tell, So maybe it's going to be that kind of situation for McVay where going into a season, he kind of knows already, like, hey, this is going to be Stafford's last year. And he can relay that to Les of like, I feel like he might retire this year. Maybe we should start looking at what our options are going to be after this and stuff like that. And then also have that conversation with Matthew of like, hey, man, we're getting the vibe that you might be done. Like, how you feeling, dude? Like, we got to figure this out. Like, whatever you decide, we still got a football season to play next year. So we got to figure that out, So and I think that's a reasonable conversation to have, especially with your quarterback. Somebody, it's you don't want to have like a Aaron Rodgers situation where he's just like, well, I don't know. We'll see. Well, a decision will be made when the time's right. It's like, shut up. Like, I just don't think Stafford's that kind of guy. So I think it's reasonable that they could say like, hey, we're getting the vibe, man. But we need to know so that we can prepare for your replacement. And then I think at that point, Stafford could say something along the lines of like, I am leaning towards retiring, but I haven't made my decision yet. And that's all you need, or like, I've thought about it, haven't made a decision yet. I'll let you know when I do, or like, it is on my mind. I'll keep you in the loop. Just anything like that. And I don't think that that's out of the question, especially for this team and this dynamic. Next up here, next few coming from Edwin, emphasis on the win. Says, I believe Puka is the best receiver in the league, and I still can't believe he fell to us in the 5th round. Bruh, preaching to the choir here, man. Why do you think he fell so far in the draft, and why do teams put so much stock in the combine for the players? Solid question, dude. I think that the most important parts, the Rams don't even go to the combine anymore, which I absolutely love, because We're here to do the underwear Olympics, dude. The meetings are the most important part of those. Does your personality fit with us? Like Sean McVay says all the time, good people make good players. So I want the interviews, man. And most of the time you have those, you don't have to do those at the combine. You certainly can. And the Rams do have settings to do interviews, but I think ultimately it is kind of a pointless numbers thing because like Puka was like terrible in his 40, like was like not near the top at all. But then like last year was hit the second fastest speed for any wide receiver in the league last year on a play. And it's like that kind of stuff is like, yeah, it's not 40s are not game speed. That's not a real thing. So like, yeah, it can tell you a little bit. And if you're looking for certain differences, like you're so even on two guys and one runs a 4.25 and one runs a 4.48, you're like, okay, well maybe this guy, you know. But I still think it comes down to the interviews and also play style. Do you want to play this? Do you want to be great at this or not? You know what I mean? Like I think that so many different factors go into it. It's so much more than physical ability. All of these guys are physically crazy. If you make it to the NFL, you're physically pinnacle as far as human beings go. Then that's where the difference comes to is the above the neck. Sean McVay, shout out. But yeah, I think that's why is that he kind of worried teams. Injury history for sure, fairness. And then low numbers at the combine, and I think it worried teams. But what they didn't know is that Puka wanted to destroy everybody. And that there's no test for that at the combine. There's no test for murderers at the combine. Otherwise, Jared Verse would have been first overall. Next up here, do you believe Tutu will have a bigger role moving forward? I actually do. I think, though, that, I kind of thought that of originally, like, first 4 weeks of the 3 weeks of the season, he doesn't really get much. It's like, whatever, that's fine. There's still a lot of football to play. And it's like, if he did all of his work in September and then sucked the rest of the year, I'd be way more mad about that. But if he sucks all year and then crushes December and January, perfect. That's awesome. Like, it's be good when you need to be at your best. You know what I mean? And we don't need to be the number one team in the league right now. We're only going into October. So I think the same thing with individual players. Tutu doesn't need to be that hero for us right now. He might later, and maybe he will be. We gotta wait. We gotta wait till it happens, man. So, but he certainly has the ability. And again, he was jogging, flying by everybody, dude. I think he's got a superpower. Turbo Tutu, man, it's a real thing. Next up here, how do you think we should attack the Niners' defense for Thursday night? I think just efficient. I think get the ground game running and then play action. This 49ers defense, they're fine, but pass rush obviously takes a hit with Bosa. But I think it's just a play your game kind of thing for the Rams. It just don't obviously take what they give you. The opponent has a say, but don't go too far outside of what you are for the Rams. I mean, that's kind of the best I can say. Just keep all systems go, dude. Just do what you've been doing, and good things are going to happen. So I would say all systems is normal, man. Just be efficient, run the football, get play action going, maybe get tight ends more involved. But if you're winning games without it, then you know what, whatever, that's fine. So let's see here. And if you had to pick from arm wrestling Braden Fisk, racing Tutu, God, dude, who would you pick and how would you do? Terrible either way. What are you talking about, man? It says go Rams, go Joe. No, go Edwin, man. That's first of all, I'm getting smoked no matter what, dude. It doesn't matter what I pick. I'm either getting blown off the line and Tutu's shoe shrapnel is going to be hitting me in the face, or my knuckle shrapnel is going to be hitting me in the face from Braden Fisk destroying my wrist. Like, I don't what the there's no right answer here, man. I can't compete with either of those, dude. I don't know who you think I am, but I appreciate it. That's cool, man. But that's funny, man. That's a good question. Yeah, obviously. I don't know what you think, dude. I know you haven't seen me run because I haven't seen me run. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm running, you better run too, dude. Bad things are happening behind me. All right, get out of there. And even then, probably just not gonna run, dude. It's my time. I've been chosen. You know what I mean? Like, I'm chosen. Anyway, moving on. Payo time. Heading over to the YouTube channel. After seeing Tutu go 88 yards jogging Yo. Is it safe to assume that he's the fastest player on the Rams? Yo. Man, Peo, you read my mind here. It says love the show. Dude, love your show, man. Keep it up. I think he is. I think he is the fastest player in on the Rams. I think that Emmanuel Forbes definitely going to be trying to fight for that spot, dude. But hopefully after the season we actually get that race. That's the plan. But I think that Tutu is probably the fastest on the Rams roster. Maybe Puka, honestly, too. I mean, I think I don't want to throw Forbes too under the bus here, but Puka needs to be being chased. He can't just like start running and then be the fastest person. You need to put a football in his hand, full pads. Everybody else can be in nothing, but you also have to put a defender chasing down Puka, and then he's gonna be the fastest guy in the NFL. So, but Tutu, man, yeah, I think it's safe to assume that as he was just jogging to the end zone, making everybody else look like a blur, that he's probably the fastest on the team. No offense, Manuel. Prove it though. Next here from Payo Time. What are some of your favorite Rams Thursday night football games or moments? I know the Baker Drive and the Mustard Bowl has to be up there. Yeah. Oh, man. Was that Mustard game? The first one? Was that the TNF? That's pretty cool if it was. I think that's right. It was prime time. I know that much. That Gurley game. Tavon had a good day. Last game played in the city of St. Louis. That's crazy. But, yeah, I would say that Baker for sure, man. That 98-yard touchdown drive. The way he was like headbutting Kenny Young on the sideline, stuff like that. It wasn't Kenny Young. Who was that? I don't remember. But yeah, he was like headbutting people on the sideline without a helmet, and it was like, this guy's my favorite player. Baker's still awesome, man. I'm a big fan. That's certainly up there, man. I know we played the Patriots a couple years back. That was fun. Dang it, I wish I could remember more Thursday night games. Minnesota, that one, Jared Goff, Cooper Kupp, they absolutely exploded on a Thursday night game. Yeah, Goff went off 4 touchdown passes. Kupp had like 180. So that's like something crazy like that. Like, yeah, man, we've had some fun moments on TNF, for sure. But yeah, there's that Patriots game. I think it was 24-3, if I'm not mistaken. That was what 2019, something like that. But yeah, it's yeah, we've had some good ones, man. But yeah, that Baker one's probably top tier, man. That's like it's the Raiders. That was super, super cool, man. Super cool. Great times. Next one here come from Rams House. Whose house? Says, I don't think NFL fans, and Rams fans for that matter, appreciate BY enough. Dude's leading the league in sacks and has gotten so much better versus the run. Do you agree that he's being overlooked? I absolutely agree that he's being overlooked. Jared Verse, understandably getting still plenty of attention from media as well as offensive lines. But Byron Young, man, I mean, he's showing so much this year. He seems faster up the line. His hands are so much better than they have been in the past 2 years. He just seems like he's got a better nose for the football. You're absolutely right. He's so much better against the run as well. There was that play last week where Daniel Jones loops out to the right, and BY was like, oh, he's going to get him. It was like one of those where it's like, hell yeah, man, this is awesome. So, yeah, man, I think that ultimately Byron Young's certainly getting overlooked, leads the league right now, and I think that if we can get into November still leading the league in sacks, that's when BY is going to start to get his love, I think. So, but yeah, absolutely, I agree. Hope my camera doesn't die. I'm going to do my best. Let's see here. Payo time. This might be a weird question. Hell yeah, love this. It's a great start, but hear me out. I hear so many Rams fans complain or voice concern about the Rams secondary, myself included. But as I listen to other fans' podcasts, I often hear them complain or voice concerns about their secondary. I feel like corners and safeties often get injured, and it's rare to elite talent at those positions. It's rare to elite talent at those positions. It's rare to have elite talent in those positions in the modern NFL. Feel free to disagree with me, only speaking from what I'm hearing, but do you think Rams fans have an unrealistic expectation for the Rams secondary given the landscape of the league? This is a very good question, actually, a very in-depth question. I would like to dive into this much further than I'm about to at some point. But you're absolutely right. I think that every secondary in the NFL is like, man, we should be better than this. I think it's because offenses are so dang good. So, I mean, yeah, I do think that we are maybe being a little bit harsh, but also it just feels like, I mean, we had last year where we kind of felt and knew that our secondary could be better. and did not make any moves for it going into this year. So, I mean, obviously Emmanuel Forbes, it's kind of a newer addition, even though he was here last year. But I think that that's kind of where the concern lies, is that it was an issue last year, quote unquote, and they didn't address it. And now we still have some of those moments where you're like, oh man, we got to be better here. So I think that that's where it's coming from. But yeah, I think that NFL offense is just really, really good right now. And secondaries, it's so hard to play secondary in this league. So yeah, I do think I do agree that that we're maybe a little bit harsh, but I also do think we could have gotten better. So I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. More on your the agreeing side with you than not, but certainly somewhere in the middle in that Goldilocks zone for sure. Let's see here. Paul says, I'm more concerned with Mac Jones playing at quarterback for the Niners than Purdy. What say you? Solid question here, man. I think that if Mac Jones plays, I think that I am more worried about their offense. I don't know what that says about Brock Purdy or the 49ers or me or what, but I would agree. I think that if Purdy plays, the Rams have a better chance of winning. If Mac Jones plays, I still think the Rams can win this game. I think that we are the better football team. But I do think that does come into question. I think that the 49ers offense will be more powerful if Mac Jones is the quarterback. Take that for what you will. Next two here coming from Rams house. Whose house? If Puka Nacua was candy, what candy would he be? I want to throw this in here too, by the way, before I totally answer this. I love these. I love these a lot because it gives me a player and an endpoint, and then I connect them. The other ones are really fun, like the room and the jobs like that, but that's just a wide open like story, you know what I mean? And it's so hard to kind of wrangle it. So having an end game and knowing like where to like Puka and a candy, I can connect those. I'm gonna go with Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. By the way, nothing super flashy, nothing super insane, but obviously the best. You know what I mean? Like obviously the best, but you're not. It's maybe not the first. Well, it is certainly the first thing you think about when you're thinking about something that's badass, but there's nothing super flashy about it. It's so simple. It's just chocolate and peanut butter. It's so simple. You're just out here breaking ankles and running routes, dude. But it's so good, so consistent, so top tier. Nothing wrong with it at all, dude. Puka Nacua, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Halloween right around the corner. Hell yeah. Rams house again. Is it fair to say the 2-2 touchdown was your favorite moment of the season? No, it is not fair, actually. Great one. I don't want to down that one at all. But the way that I lost my mind on Landman's punch-out, I don't think you can beat that right now, man. Also, Puka's 45-yard touchdown run on 4th and 1. That one got me. So, yeah, I would say there is a few, and that one's up there for sure right now. But we're only 4 weeks in. Who knows what's going to happen, but I wouldn't say that that's number one, mainly because that Landman punch-out in week 1 was just absolute pinnacle, man. Pinnacle business, man. Thank you so much for your fan quesos. Do appreciate you. If do you want a spot to put those, and I'm not asking, let me know. We can make sure that gets worked out. But right now they get posted on the Ram Showcase Facebook page, as well as my personal Facebook and the Ram Showcase YouTube channel. So check us out there. Rams playing Thursday Night Football. 49ers coming to town, SoFi Stadium this Thursday. Be sure to catch that action. We'll be live ahead of the game. We'll be live on the First and Tuna Podcast YouTube channel and Ram Showcase Facebook page Wednesday morning and Thursday morning as we look ahead into the Rams' first divisional game of the year. Make sure you follow along on socials at Sheriff Joe Bags, at Ram Showcase, and RamShowcase.com. But that is going to do it for me. I am Sheriff Joe Bags. This has been Ram Showcase on Sports War Radio and the Fan-Sided Network. For those of you who aren't Rams fans, our thoughts and prayers are with you. For those of you who are Rams fans, thank you so much for watching, and go Rams.